Hi Aries, welcome to your June 2023 Life Sector Tarot reading with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. They are purely tarot, so watch them for whichever one resonates the most for you, but obviously check out all three so that you can find out which one that is. Remember, they're general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let me just pop that there. For your actions and plans over the course of June of 2023, can you believe we are already basically halfway through the year, which is insane. All right, so for your actions and plans, you have the Page of Swords. Okay, so potentially interviews, especially with the Ace of Cups. That's beautiful. So new business ideas and new work with the King of Pentacles. For those of you that are going for, now this is specifically for those of you that are going for jobs that have an element of an upgrade or a promotion to it. This suggests that not only do you get your wish, but you may actually get more than you wanted, potentially more than you bargained for. But hey, listen, right? Too much is always better than none. So I love this. Now, in terms of the things that you're setting into motion, it looks like a lot of you are getting some sort of paperwork, documentation, all into place, which I absolutely love for you. For some of you, this does look like it's potentially a change of home, or at least you starting to understand, okay, you know what, I think this place has kind of seen its process for me. So I really like that. And then for a select few of you, it looks like you could be connecting with an earth sign person, either through work and or your career, or potentially on, in terms of love and relations. So that could be really nice. I wonder as well, I think if you were going to go for an earth sign, your best match would be Capricorn, because that's where your ruling planet Mars exalts. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, for your career and communications, you have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so with the Seven of Pentacles, slow and steady is going to win this race. With the Page of Pentacles, there is a lot of earth here, right? So already we've got the King of Cups is out. What do we see? Obviously as well, you also have the Page. So you've got the Page of Swords and you've got the Page of Pentacles. Two pages represents the energy of disquiet, which tells me that the work, the career, the profession, or the studies this month are going to be live, right? Things are going to be happening. It's going to be a busy old month for you guys in particular. Now, the reason this, because obviously you've got here the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, which is why I say to you, slow and steady is going to win the race for you guys this month when it comes to the work, the profession, the career. But interestingly enough, with those two pages, it's not going to be a case of it's just smooth sailing and it's quiet. It's going to be a case of, you're working quite hard. There's a lot going on, and you're having to kind of slowly and methodically work your way through it. Mars, your ruling planet, is now in Leo and enjoying that stay. This is a fellow fire sign, so it's offering you some, I know I said I wasn't going to talk astrology, but I can't help it. It's offering you good energy. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is where you're having to really dig in. It looks like a lot of you are working on those final projects, maybe working towards exams. I've got to say, with that Four of Pentacles and the Seven, you are being encouraged here to really go over the things that you already, if you're studying or in some form of academia, the areas in which you're kind of like, I know this bit, I'm really good at this bit, I urge you with this combination of cards to study those bits just as much as you do the stuff that you think you're not as good at. The reason being is, with that Page of Pentacles, it suggests that this is you're building a much more solid foundation than you realize. And in order for that to be truly strong and carry forward, you are going to need to brush up on all of it. Okay. Now, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, there's definitely an element this month of promotion in the air. That Page of Pentacles basically says whatever new tasks, responsibilities, etc. you're given this month, you might think to yourself, oh, they're just piling more work on me. But actually, There is a reason for what feels like a test. They are gearing up to progress, advance, or promote you. We've seen that with the King of Pentacles already. It's going to require you to really show up though, right? Okay, and then when it comes to your... those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is you banging the pots and pans to let people know what you're bringing to the world, what new items, products, services, etc. you have. This is the month to make a splash, right? But don't do it as like, usually Aries is kind of like hit it and quit it, right? Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This month is not gonna, that's not gonna cut it, right? You have to get a solid strategy that goes for the long haul, okay? Like really think about that. Think about how you can have like a steady, progressive kind of energy behind it. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I really like this for maybe a lot of you doing something very practical, getting out in the garden. If you don't have a garden, how can you bring the outside in? And another way that this could also show up is a lot of you are going back to either a hobby or a practice that you once had that maybe you got like a little bit frustrated with. It's like, you know, it's like anything, you know, you do something for long enough and then you think, oh, you know, why am I actually doing this? So you kind of come away from it. I feel like a lot of you will be returning to a hobby of some sort this month. For your love and relations, you've got the Death card. Okay, so endings, completions, culminations with the Queen of Swords. Okay, and the Chariot card. So for those of you that have had problems or issues, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, if you've had challenges or issues when it comes to your love life, if there's, especially if there's been a specific argument or fight of some sort, this does suggest that, you know, it's going to start to ease. But I got to tell you, for a select few of you, this could very well mean the end of a friendship, a relationship. It could also be where you decide, right, you know what, I'm going to put an ultimatum on the table. And it does look like some of you will be doing that this month. It's almost like you're saying, we either move forward and here are the options for doing that, or, you know, we find a way to call it quits. I'm really sorry to say that. If you are single and looking to mingle, look, you got the Death card, that's a water energy because that's Scorpio energy. You've got the Chariot card, that's Cancer energy. That's a lot of water flanking the Queen of Swords. There is a potential here, if you're newly seeing someone or if you meet someone, they could make you feel emotionally off kilter. And I've got to be honest with you, if that is the case, that's probably not the path for you. All right, like, don't get me wrong. People that, you know, sometimes they annoy us, sometimes they push us, sometimes they challenge us. All of those things are very healthy. If someone makes you feel emotionally insecure or unstable, regardless of what our own hang-ups are, that's probably not a path that you need to be going down. And that Queen of Swords does suggest this person is naturally very argumentative, and with so much water flanking them, it looks like they're quite highly emotionally reactive as well, and that's something that you need to be mindful of, right? And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Five of Pentacles. So potentially out of pocket with something this month. And then you've got the King of Wands. So King of Wands is usually a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Then you've got the World card, right? So one way that this potentially shows up is you could potentially find yourself very publicly having to part with some kind of finance or money. If you're partnered or married or in a long-term commitment, one of the issues that it does look like is causing a problem this month is the finances. So this could be where you're having some really sort of hard, tough conversations. It could also be maybe something comes up and it's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, let's say you get a letter saying, you know, this is owed and needs to be paid, and you and your partner end up having a complete barmy about the whole thing. There's obviously something deeper going on there. This is just the catalyst to, you know, to get everything up and out into the open. So I hope that's not the case. Now, in terms of that King of Wands, whether you're a man or a woman, however you identify, that King of Wands is your energy. And it's also about visibility. And you've got this with the Universe card or the World card in this, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, that would be the World. So this suggests that there is a change coming on that front as well. Now, you know, when it comes to the finances, when you've got the Five of Pentacles, unfortunately, there is an expense this month that it kind of feels like it's the thing that just pushes things over the edge. I hope that's not the case. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, you are being asked this month to really think about the structure of your body. So your bones, your skeleton, are you eating or drinking something, or, you know, even smoking is really, you know, these things are really bad for your bones. How are you supporting your skeletal system? I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but I would say that's an element of your body this month that you really do want to focus on. And then when it comes to your home and environment, I actually think this may be where it is. And this might not necessarily be something specifically to do with your home. This might be something that happens in your locality. So as an example, you know, like if you live near a river, if the river floods, right, unfortunately your home is susceptible as well. So this could be something that is out of your control in that regard when it comes to the home, but it's just as easily possible that something could be highlighted to you by your housing association, your estate agent, your realtor, you know, all of those kinds of people could say, look, this is something that needs to be sorted. Can you get it fixed ASAP? And it ends up costing you kind of like a pretty penny, right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.